What a perfect day for Sunday Morning with Sage. The apocalypse is happening outside weather-wise. Hey, it's Omi and Aaron. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good. Oh, sorry. How about that? Music's too loud, voice too low. Thank you. I need all the help I can get. I don't hear the sound in my headphones like I should. So I just look at these monitors. And you know, you are right. Like, look, there. See, that's a little bit better, right? I think that's better. I've been traveling. Oh, you don't need to be sorry. Awesome. It is so good to see you. Traveling is such a wonderful thing. Good morning, Aaron. How the heck are you? How are you doing? I just closed the curtain on the weather today. I just noped right out of the weather. I don't even... It's ridiculous out there. Did I read about Hart Plaza? No. Let me Google that. Hart Plaza. Let's see. Hart Plaza. You have a closet. Oh, okay. Thank you for pointing this out. Let's talk about this. You have a closet, Aaron? Is it awesome? Are you happy? I hope so. That's so wonderful. I'm only home because it's rainy. Yeah. You are a real traveler, Omi. Have you watched that Nomadland movie? It's an older crowd, but it's really inspirational. I was Michigan traveling. Oh, wow. So is this why you bring up Detroit? Now to find where to put everything that got displaced. How about in your closet? Look what I sent you. Okay, I will go look. Let's go see. What have I got? Little gifts in my messenger. You are wonderful. There are no white people in the Bible. That's right. Take all the time you need with this. That's really good. You know, the question I asked myself this morning is like, what is the problem? What is the actual problem we're dealing with? Oh, hooray. Oh, now it's Omi. It went from added all cleaning to Omi Kelly. I love it. Why? I mean, why are we the way we are? See, this sign is so good. There are no white people in the Bible. Okay, and then we're going to talk about Hart Plaza. Yes, absolutely. But this makes the point, right? I think, because yes, I agree. 100%. We need to talk about that. So this, you know what this reminds me of? Omi is bouncing around technology. I love it. It makes you ask, like, where are we really? Where are we? You think we're in, I'm in West Akron, but am I right now? Am I in West Akron? Because I'm with Omi. I don't know where Omi is as far as that's concerned. Or Aaron. Where's Aaron? I mean, are we really where we are? Just because our body is someplace, that's where we really, really are? I have so many questions. Hi, Rocco. see, Rocky really needs to get. That's right. She's going to be really in the closet. Erin just got a new closet. Yeah. Well, she moved her hot water tank out of her closet, and I don't know where the hot water tank is gone yet. I haven't learned that. But then she put it. Then now she has a closet. So it's pretty sweet.
That is sweet.
So be thankful you have a closet.
I do really actually love that closet.
Yeah, that is a good closet. I will be in the West. Where in the world is Omi? That's true. Erin is living in a parallel universe. I just wonder, like, I think. So, okay. So, you know what this sign, so what I like about this sign is there are no white people in the Bible. And what this reminds me of is the Blue Lives Matter people, right? They're like, we love the police. We love them. The police are the greatest thing on earth. Until they storm the Capitol and then start beating the crap out of police. Okay? So, and that's, yeah, Hart Plaza's coming your way. So, do we even believe what we really say we believe? Or is like, so, you know, the Bible, there are no white people in the Bible, right? And, but at the same time, you know, I think there is a downward pressure on brown people by certain segments of American society. I sound choppy. Oh, my Lord. It says I have excellent condition. My health, my studio health is good. Choppy on both. Maybe it's my audio. Could be my audio. Let me know if Erin thinks I'm choppy too. And then I don't know what I'm going to do about it because, of course, I didn't test my audio. Here. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to test my audio. I'm writing a recording right now. And, okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that up, and we're going to listen to it together. Where's the video? Video. Hold on. Okay, 1 second, please. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Oh, it is me. Crap. I do sound like crap. Dang it. That is not going to work. I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to stop the stream and close my Open Broadcaster and come right back. I'm sorry. This is just how it's going to have to be. All right. Now, let's see if it's any better. Okay. Now I'm going to record this again. You see, like, yeah, no, it's not a bad connection. It's just my computer. Let me see if that sounds any better. Okay. Ah, there it is. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. That's the kind of quality broadcasting you get from Sage, a guy that doesn't test his audio before he goes on, even though he knows he should. All right. Anyways, sorry you had to experience that nightmare for too long, but thank you for letting me know. So, yeah, I mean, let's go look at what Omi sent me about Hart Plaza. So the city of Detroit, this was put out April 23rd, is clearing out homeless encampment for Hart Plaza renovations. Okay. So here, a homeless encampment in Hart Plaza is getting the boot by the city of Detroit to make way for a 4-month renovation project. City officials said construction will begin at 7 a.m. on Monday and last until the end of August. The plan includes promenade repairs, improving drain gates, and replacing current low-level lighting with LED and egress fixtures. That's so nice. Said it sees as many as 50 people camping out around Hart Plaza when it conducts food and toiletry drop-offs. Okay, interesting. So you've been to Hart Plaza. I've never been to Hart Plaza, and obviously there's homeless people there, and you have not felt at risk. I bet you, though, it's going to be interesting. I bet you it is going to, we're going to find that other people are scared. They're scared. It's very hard for folks to find safe places, so they find communities such as Hart Plaza where you have guardians. Underneath, there was a woman sleeping there Sunday, and no one bothered her, and she never bothered anyone. Underneath the steps of Hart Plaza is a community of support. Mason said people know each other's names, look after each other, and they keep their autonomy. Donald Reacher, who serves the city's group executive for housing planning and development, said via email the city is putting people up in hotels until construction is over, but hope to find more permanent housing before the projects end. Renters said that so far 11 people have been given rooms with plans to get everyone in before Monday. Demetrius Smith, 54, has been sheltering at Hart Plaza encampment since last June when his transitional housing ran out. It goes down underground where they use concession stands. Wow. I shouldn't be forced out of here, says Smith. With a sleeping disorder and back problems, Smith said finding work was difficult. Staying in the plaza provided some safety until now. I used to feel safe, but now that everybody's gone, it's a little different. Those cities promised a hotel and the project's over. Smith said he wonders how long that'll last. Of course, you wonder how long it's going to last. You never like to get your hopes up, Smith says. How about that? Living your life where you never like to get your hopes up. After a plaza sweep in 2019 that started with no warning and ended in people's property being taken and thrown away, the city created a rule which said the city is not to remove people's personal items. This time, the people in shelter and homeless support agency received a week's notice, so they changed their rules. Homeless service providers will provide case management and connection to permanent housing so that individuals do not end up back on the street. Holes in the care for the government became apparent during the pandemic. Homelessness is an example of a failed state. A failed state. They're talking about America. Eastside Mutual Aid is hosting a peaceful protest at Hart Plaza at 7 Monday morning when construction is set to start. Okay. Co-founder June Price said one of our main goals is to raise awareness and create momentum for direct action. Some steps Price wants people to take is attending City Hall and asking about budget and bringing issues to the forefront. Yeah, I've done that. Okay. Let me show you something else here. Proposition B in Austin passed. Okay. Prop B, what happens? I'm going to get rid of my face here because it's just ruining everything. There. What happens to the homeless in downtown Austin? Monday after Proposition B vote found Michelle Joseph doing what she does every Monday. Joseph, with a group called Drive By Howdy, helped at an Austin homeless camp under I-35, providing food and basic hygiene. I'm here because they are still here. Joseph and the group she's with have been helping for almost a year now. For her, there's been way too much talk. We don't need more ideas, solutions, or committees. We need somebody taking an idea and saying, I can implement this even on a small scale. That's pretty ingenious. Yeah. For some that something is getting programs mothballed. Okay. So at any rate, what you should know is that Proposition B passed in, this isn't definitely the article I wanted, which voted overwhelmingly to make homelessness illegal, okay? It brings back the homeless camping ban, all right? 57% of voters, this was put to voters. Now, this was not politicians. This is not mayors. This is the liberals of Austin, okay? Austin is a liberal city. 57% of Austinites said they support Proposition B, which incidentally, let me get you what it does. Under Prop B, penalties will be assessed not only for camping, but for sitting or lying down on a public sidewalk or sleeping outdoors in or near the downtown Austin area or the area around the University of Texas campus. Okay? It's not just camping. Sitting or lying down near the downtown area. Yeah, even Rocky says she thinks that's bullshit. I mean, that's crazyville. Okay? Now, what creates a culture that overwhelmingly votes for that when you ask any of those Austinites what they think about the environment, what they think about immigrants, what they think about organic food, what they think about a ban on Muslims from coming into America. Overwhelmingly, they are going to be outraged. Outraged. That's terrible, says the liberal Austinite. Yet 57% of them have now created penalties for sitting on a sidewalk. Okay? Sitting on a sidewalk. Now, let's just get it straight. If you're a liberal hipster in Austin, you can sit and lay on a sidewalk all day long. They're like, you know, we might tell them to get up. But those no good, smelly homeless people, they better not be sitting on the fancy sidewalks of downtown Austin. I don't know what's going on with my internet connection. Yeah, I'm a liberal hipster too. You ever been to downtown Austin? I have. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Have you ever been to a downtown Austin restaurant? Beautiful and wonderful. Everybody's having so much fun. Right on, man. I hear you. It's lovely. You should go to Texas. I love Texas. I love it. I love it. I love Austin. I love Dallas. I love Houston. I love it all. I have not read Black Like Me, but I think I should. So what's going on there? We need to understand this because the answer is, well, you could just, you know, like we just have a bad habit of brushing problems aside with quick one-word solutions. Hypocrisy. That's what I want to say. That's my quick one-word solution. They're hypocrites. But that does nothing to solve the problem. When an Austinite would those very same Austinites that would gladly go and protest on the streets, sitting on the streets of downtown Austin to protest the inhumanitarian conditions of immigrant children on the border of Texas. 100% they do a sit-in on the streets of Austin, downtown Texas. Sitting. They would sit. They would do it. And they would be outraged if they were given a penalty for sitting on the streets of Austin protesting poor condition at immigrant camps. They would be outraged. However, that same Austintonian, or whatever we call him, that saw a homeless person getting a ticket for sitting on the same sidewalk would be like, yeah, it's unfortunate, but, you know, people can't be sitting on the sidewalks. when the week before they were just sitting on the sidewalk. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. So, what do we do if we can agree that it's hypocrisy? Now, the reason I don't like the word hypocrisy is because it's just a negative word that, say, a conservative can now use against these Austintonians. It's raw meat for somebody that doesn't like Austin. Be like, see, these liberals, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. But nothing changes because they don't, the hypocrites don't internalize that. They don't believe it. They can't explain what they're doing, but they don't believe they're hypocrites. I mean, they'll gladly explain it. They'll be like, look, it's not healthy to sleep on the sidewalk. Is that what it's really about? Is that what it's really about? It's not healthy to sleep on the sidewalk? No, that's a justification. That's a justification. It's not healthy for those children to be in those camps down on the border. But they'll protest that, but criminalize their neighbors in the same city. Okay? Hypocrisy. We all are hypocrites. All of us. We are all hypocrites. Because what ultimately is happening is we're not thinking through any of this stuff. None of it. What's sometimes necessary, Omi? We're not rationalizing any of our stuff. Telling my kids not to smoke weed while I light up. Yeah, there you go. Right. This isn't healthy. Parents do it all the time, don't they? Do as I say, not as I do. So can you see the patterns? Can you see a liberal, a progressive in Austin? We'll just use Austin because they voted 57% in favor of assessing penalties for sitting on public sidewalks. Okay? They just did it. So let's use them as an example. But this is a human trait. This is what we do as humans. So what are we doing, I think is the question. And I feel like what we're doing is we are living by our emotions and using our brain to validate all of our emotions. So, let's say a Blue Lives Matter person is like, Blue Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. And then 1 week they go over to the Capitol and they find themselves bashing the head in of a police officer with an American flag. Okay? It seems like hypocrisy. Then they'll be able to rationalize it. They'll be like, well, you know, I had a right to get in there, blah, 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 blah. We were starting a revolution. And then they're going to find themselves 60 years in jail. And they're like, no, this was ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Bad idea. They didn't think it through. They didn't think it through. None of us think it through. Most of what we do is not thought through. Most of what we do is just rationalizing everything we just instinctively do. And hate is a tricky one. Because a lot of times people don't even know that they are hating, that they are haters. So the Blue Lives Matter people actually are upset about the black people, right? I mean, you know that. If you're not a Blue Lives Matter, if you're a Black Lives Matter person, you know, if you've, thought about this for any amount of time, that the Blue Lives Matter people are just using that as an excuse to tell black people to go sit down and shut up. Which, incidentally, is something that white city council people have actually said to black people on city council in Akron. Literally, a white man has said to a black woman, sit down and shut up. It's been done. It's said. It's on the record. And that's super valuable. That is where we have to be. We don't need all the rationalization. We need that pure sit down, shut up exclamation. We need it. Because when we get to Rose, my Lord. I think my condition still says, my stream health says it's still good. It says it's healthy. I'm sorry. I don't know. Just one of those days. So, when we listen to the rationalization of a liberal hipster in Austin telling us why they voted yes for Proposition B, we're not learning anything. What we need to get at is when they say, look, I don't like looking at homeless people. Now we're on to something. Yeah, there's a lot of Wi-Fi. Sorry, Omi. We, I believe, need to uncover the darkness that lives within us, the shadows that live within us. Because we have not done anything to change racism in America by taking away Confederate flags, by shaming people for saying racist crap. You haven't fixed racism. All you've done is bury it, which incidentally is the symbolism of homelessness, which is what they're doing with Proposition B. They're burying the homeless. It's not healthy to sleep on the sidewalk. They need better things. So we really need to inspire them to get something better by penalizing them for sleeping on the sidewalk. What they're really saying is it skeezes me out to see homeless people on the beautiful sidewalks of downtown Austin. And I need that statement. That's the statement I need. I don't need the bullshit statement of they need better. No. Nope. That's not what I don't give a shit about what you just said because that's a lie. That's a lie. Because and progressives are terrible at lying. They are like, I'm not racist. I read White Fragility. I went to a DEI conference. I don't even know what that means anymore. Equity inclusion. What's the D stand for? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah, I went to a DEI conference. We have a black person on our board. Do you? Oh, good job. No. I need to hear why you don't have black people as your friends. Why you don't live in a black neighborhood. Why most of your neighbors are white. I need you to say it. Because you're scared of black people. They're different than you. You feel uncomfortable being around them. And then you can say, and I feel uncomfortable being uncomfortable. I feel guilty. Okay. That's cool, man. Yeah, now we're somewhere. At least the racists will tell you what they feel. Well, they don't normally anymore because usually the these liberals come back at them and make them feel like shit. And so they're like, well, remind me never to say that shit again. I have conservative friends who are teaching their children to not say things. In fact, I heard from a liberal friend, a kid, young teenager, that their conservative friend said something that was not politically correct, and he got ganged up on. They scraped his messages. They called him out. And he wasn't saying racist crap. He was saying something that looked like a conservative would say, but is not politically correct right now in the liberal youth population. Most of his associates or friends happen to be liberal, but he happens to be conservative, and he cannot say anything conservative without being bashed for it. So what are you going to do? You're going to shut the hell up is what you're going to do. Nobody needs that. But are you changing his mind? No. I think you're making it worse. I think you're actually making it worse. Because now you're like, not only do I believe the liberal youth are great. I do agree. But they need to grow too. They need to do some work. Now, not only does that conservative young man still have the same beliefs, he now believes that the supporters of that other cause are terrible people. So it's made it worse. I don't know how or cared. I didn't know or cared who lived here when I had to move. I just looked at what I could afford and moved. Turned out to be only one black veteran living here, and I like him more than anyone here. That's really good. When I was a youth, we were just youth. Yeah. So I'll tell you what. I moved from Medina, if you're familiar with Medina, which is a very upper scale conservative town, to Akron, which is a liberal city. And the realtor did this to me. I think I'm a racist towards my own race. I know. I'm with you there. That's right. I think that's a real thing. I think that's absolutely a real thing. Racism against your own race. She said, as she was driving us from Medina, she's like, look, I cannot tell you what is a good neighborhood and what is a bad neighborhood, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull into the driveway of these houses, and we're going to sit in the car for a while. And I just want you to look around the neighborhood. And at first I didn't know what she was saying. But when we started going around the neighborhoods, I'm like, oh, we picked some houses in black neighborhoods and we picked some houses in white neighborhoods. And she couldn't say which is which. But obviously she didn't mean that I was going to experience a drive-by shooting. She said, look around the neighborhood, which is there will be white people in some neighborhoods and black people in some neighborhoods. And I'm sure she was like, I don't care where you live. I don't think she was that, but she was saying, you know, white people usually feel better with their own people, which is true. It is 100% true. And sure enough, we picked a house in a white neighborhood. And to be honest with you, I didn't see a lot of people out in any of them. I couldn't, when she pulled up to there wasn't, people aren't walking around, okay? I don't recall seeing anybody like when we were sitting in the car looking around. I'm like, I don't know. I see a bunch of houses. So I don't recall, but for some reason I picked a house on a white street. There wasn't a single black person on that street. Now, how did I do that? I don't know. How did I pick a street that didn't have a single black person on it? I don't know what I did. He says, I have a drunk black man across the street. Next to him is a 5-generation family on meth and a lot of babies. The other side of the trunk's an old white couple who hates us all. See, now that's good fun. That's good fun right there. Who do you like more, the meth addict or the drunk? I want to know. It's a tough call for me. We got to reopen these wounds, people. I need liberals to say, homeless people freak me out. I don't want to walk over a homeless person. That's what I need them to say. Because the other shit doesn't get me anywhere. The other thing, okay, let me do that. Let's do it. The drunk. You prefer the drunk? Yeah. An old drunk man is good. I will say that. They're usually cool and funny and smooth. Babies and meth are weird. That's a lot of energy. 5 babies and meth. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. That's stress. We've drank a few times and smoked together. One night drunk, he hollered, you know I be on that rock. I'm smoking that crack. I love it. So now I only smoke my weed with him and never his weed. Some of smart. See? Now that's wisdom. That's wisdom. Yeah, see, that guy sounds like a good time. That's my kind of guy, I will admit. Because, okay, so I take the progressive Austinite that voted for Prop B, and I'm like, tell me really why. And she's like, look, man, I'm a single young female. I happen to be quite attractive, and I get sick and tired getting ogled by these drunk dudes on the frickin' sidewalk. I'm like, now we're talking. Thank you. Thank you for saying it. That's it. I've seen homeless drunk guys ogle, and it's disgusting. He knows how to keep it interesting. Yeah, that guy does sound like a good time. It annoys me. The Me Too movement went right over the heads of most homeless men that I know. To the point where I'm like, oh God, it's so hopeless. It's so hopeless. I don't even know. I try. I'm like, look, bro, you don't say that shit anymore. And you're like, what, man? She was hot. I'm like, yeah, I know she was hot, but you don't say that anymore. Like, well, I'm going to just do what I want. The scariest part of the homeless, at Hart Plaza to me was, okay, I want to know. So look, these are the things we want to say. Me and my friend had to come from the dispensary to smoke and looked at Canada across the room. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, you went to the dispensaries up there. That's so fun. I do have a hope of getting involved in some of that marijuana after my kid leaves. Maybe. I'll see. I don't know. I like being straight edge a lot. One crawled out of his tent and thought for sure he was going to ask to hit it. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's the other thing. Homeless people have, they're pretty unfiltered. They'll tell you any story. A lot of them will. That was it. And one tried selling me some American pin. Oh, that's good. I gave him $5 and asked him to please keep the pin. That's even better. So that's good. Like, I love homeless people that are trying to sell shit. That's good. That's good. Usually they overprice their crap, though, which bothers me. But anyways, but you can usually walk, get them down. So let's just say it's that. Let's say it's a young, attractive, hipster, progressive that works downtown and is and voted for Prop B because ultimately deep down she's scared of homeless people. I agree. I don't think homeless people should be on the sidewalk either. I don't think, have you ever been to the sidewalk of the stars in Hollywood? You know what I'm talking about? Where they got the stars? What a fucking dump. What a fucking dump. We went there early in the morning. There's shit and piss and vomit and a dozen homeless people passed out all over the sidewalks of the sidewalk of the stars. I'm like, this sucks. This fucking sucks. I'm like, this is not what I was sold. I was supposed to see a shiny sidewalk, but no. They got all these homeless people splattered all over the fucking sidewalk. Now, I'm 100% against that. 100% against it. I didn't go to the sidewalk of the stars to work on homelessness. I went to, tourist stuff. Although I was very pulled and compelled by the homeless situation in California. It interests me an incredible deal. But I was not prepared. I mean, Skid Row, I'm like, okay, that's like 8,000 people in tents. I got to see that. That's crazy. There's a lot of fucking tents all over the sidewalks in California. But that sidewalk of the stars, which is not called the sidewalk of the stars. What's that called, honey? Sidewalk of Fame? Oh, Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thank you. The Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, I know. Just take your pic, go home, and Photoshop the homeless out. You'll be cool. Well, the problem is I went too early. No, I didn't see in New York. Or maybe, I don't know. Which one? As the day went on, people came out with their hoses and sprayed it down, and scrubbed it off, and shooed the homeless people away. And I'm like, oh, finally. Now I can get my picture with the Donald Trump star. It was like that in 1999 when I was there. I was sort of homeless tourist when I was there. Yeah, right? Look, it's not right. California's population dropped so low without any growth for the first time since it was made a state. Interesting. First time. They lost California's too expensive. People are moving to Texas. They lost a seat of representatives. So I want to hear the hipster young woman say those words, because then we can get something done. But I'm going to tell you what. You don't need to penalize a homeless person for sitting on a sidewalk. No homeless person wants to sit out in the public on a sidewalk. Now, maybe if they want to go fly a sign or something like that, but you got to give them an alternative. Okay? Yeah, it was a congressional seat. That's crazy they lost it. I think we lost one too, didn't we? It's the South, man. The South. Texas. That's what's up. Texas is what's up. You got to have an alternative. Okay? You cannot let homeless people no, I shouldn't say it that way. The problem is, it's not the homeless people, there's no other solution. The homeless people don't want to look like garbage and trash. They feel like garbage and trash. They don't want to look like it. They don't want to feel like it, but they have no other option. because people don't want tents. They don't want tiny houses. They don't want those little like emergency shelter things that I see people making. They're like, well, we can't have that. We can't have that. And I'm like, well, then you're going to have homeless people on your front door. That's it. Well, no, we're going to now make that illegal. And so what's going to happen is we're going to clean up the streets and then homelessness is solved. No, now you're a fucking asshole. Now you see hipster young girl, woman, young woman, you're an asshole. Now you're an asshole. Because, yes, you're right. That sucks. And you shouldn't have to be ogled by a drunk homeless man on the street. You shouldn't have to walk over his piss and shit. But you can't take away his rights so your rights stand and then now you feel good and you don't have to think about that shit anymore. You don't need to criminalize homelessness. You just have to offer another solution. Problem solved. We had 50 tents in my backyard that you could not see from the street. We took people off of the streets and put them in a structured camp. We were a solution. And they shut it down. They shut it down. And I would not be at all surprised to see sitting and lying down penalties in Akron, Ohio. Would not be at all. They hate them. You know why they especially hate them? Because we're a poor town. They don't like people realizing that we're a poor town. We want to hide our poor. And that includes low-income workers, low-income African Americans, low-income white people. They want to hide all that shit. Homeless person stays where they are. You work from home. You don't have to walk past them. You get a $12 coffee. That's right. All right, Aaron, I got to go too soon, honey. Thank you for being here. It was really good to see you. The reason now the hipster young woman, now she is the problem. Because she didn't vote for a solution. She just voted so her rights get stood up at the detriment of another American's rights. And she wins because she's pretty and upwardly mobile. And white, of course. Of course she's white. I forget to say bye. So that's where systemic oppression comes. It's not that the pretty young white hipster from Austin doesn't have the right to walk she has the right to not have to deal with that shit. But she doesn't have the right to take away other people's very existence. She needs to come up with a solution. And that's where it gets fucked up. Who doesn't love upwardly mobile people? They're pretty. They drive pretty cars. They have pretty houses. They're pretty. I like to think of myself, I'm sure you are, Omi. I'm absolutely sure you are. Look, I love them too. But it comes right back to the point of these people do not understand their motivations. And then they don't understand the consequences of their actions. That upwardly mobile hipster people, 57% of a liberal town, criminalized homelessness because they felt that their rights were being imposed upon. And now they don't care because now the homeless are going to go away. They don't have a problem anymore. They're excited. They're not going to have to walk past those guys and feel guilty, feel, talked to. They can just be around people that look like them. More upwardly mobile hipsters living in Austin. And they can get back to the fact that Austin's a great city. It wasn't great for a while because, those homeless people were coming out on the streets, but now it's great. It's great because it looks great, but underneath it's rotten, and it's because of people acting based on their emotions without understanding. We need to get all of it out in the open. I want to know why I need to talk to seriously racist white people, because they're at least willing to talk to you. And I'll tell you what, if a liberal won't even listen to a KKK member. They'll be like, that's terrible, that's terrible. But you know what? If they would, they'd probably hear some things that would make sense to them. Well, that makes sense. I mean, come on, that part makes sense. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And then we're on to something. If we don't understand our own prejudices at the most fundamental level, we will never be able to fix them. And hiding them through a politically correct ecosystem of pseudo-liberalism is not making things better, it's making things worse. I want to. I need a few, Omi. I got some too. But I'm thinking about doing some more interviews. We'll see. We must get to the heart of the matter. And it's okay to hate black people. It's okay to hate homeless people. It's okay to hate white people. It's natural, for God's sake. But why do you hate them? And what do you want? If you just want to eradicate them, that's a problem. I know a lot of overtly racist too. Yeah. I love it. These feelings are natural. Racism is natural. What do you want? Most people don't want to eradicate another race of people, okay? Okay, I would like that. I would like to do some interviews. You would be a great interviewer, Omi. You would be really great. Let me think about how we could do that. That would be really, 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 really good. You probably just what do you want? Do you not want to be around black people? Well, good. Go to Wadsworth. There's 3% of black people in Wadsworth. You got places to go. Do you just want to hurt black people? No. Now, and then it's complicated because people are like, well, I hate Black Lives Matter. It's a racist group. It's racist. It's racist. So, racist against white people. I would say they're probably angry at white people. That's okay too. Malcolm X hated white people. The Nation of Islam hated white people. Hated white people so much they hung out with the KKK. Because the KKK wanted what black people of NOI wanted. Okay? They wanted segregation. They didn't want people mixing races. And so the Nation of Islam would actually side with the KKK before they would side with Martin Luther King. Because Martin Luther King wanted integration. And that meant babies that weren't pure blood. The NOI didn't want that. The KKK didn't want that. And so they hung out all the time. It's fine. It's fine to not want to be with another race. Okay? What's not fine is making laws like Proposition B against people that don't have a home. Do you understand? We got to get there. It's fine to hate walking by homeless people. I get it too. Sometimes I'm just over it. You know where the people that drive me nuts are these people on meth that won't stop talking. I can't take it, which is ironic because you're listening to me for an hour, just nonstop talk. But I'm telling you, a chatty meth addict is so annoying. I just can't even. Okay? Doesn't mean I don't love them. Doesn't mean I don't want to help them. Doesn't mean I'm still for their cause. But I'm telling you right now, a chatty meth addict, just go away. I'm sick of it. Jeez, oh, Pete. Yeah, how about when blacks lost their own communities they built during segregation and lost their black leaders? We need that again. How about when we put a road right through, the road to nowhere here in Akron, right through the low-income black neighborhood? 100 businesses got shut down, and now that road's getting shut down. We need that. We need to go to places where we feel comfortable. White people need it. Black people need it. Look, we got like Little China, right? Or Chinatown. What are they? Not Little China. Little Italy. We got Little Italy. Great. We got Chinatowns all over the place. Great. I love it. We need them. We need to celebrate our own cultures. But we don't need Proposition B. We don't. You don't have to hurt other people so that you can finally feel comfortable. Do you get it, man? It's fine to not like black people. It's fine to not like homeless people. No problem. And black people, it's fine to hate white people. Oh, I get it. Ask some of these people on here. We kind of hate our own race sometimes. Look, probably the people I hate most are people that look exactly like me. Loudmouth, pasty, European, middle-aged, middle-class men. Ugh. Gross. Disgusting. I literally can't even talk to them. You set me in front of a new middle-class, middle-aged white man that looks like me, I am done. I am checked out mentally. Done. Hate them. Usually. Sometimes they're okay. But I mean, most of them, but I'm telling you, that's my racism. I go in not liking you. You just got to know it. Because you're obnoxious like me. I hate myself because I hate you. No. I hate you because I hate myself. That's what it is. Sorry. Yeah. So look. We got to get back to a place where we're fine with our racism and we're fine with our segregation, but not to the point where we hurt other people. These hipsters that want to walk down a clean sidewalk in downtown Austin have every right to do it. But the solution is not to criminalize the homeless. The solution is to give the homeless a place where they don't have to look at these stupid-ass fucktards of liberals. They don't like them either, okay? None of us like any of it. We all hate each other. They don't want to be there as much as you don't want them there, but they got nowhere else to go. Okay? Black schools deserve funding. And I believe we are in this mess because we aren't allowed to say these words that I'm saying right now. Because we can't get it out. I hate homeless people. I don't hate homeless people. But you might, and I get it. Maybe you're misunderstood. Maybe you misunderstand them. The people that are like, homeless people are just, the one reason they're homeless, drugs. Okay, great. Yeah, you don't really understand, but I don't care. You just don't like homeless people. You're using rationalization for your hatred, which is fine. Very natural. But when you are like, all homeless people are addicts, now you see you're starting down the slippery path. And if you're cute and liberal and blonde, you're now at a point where you are creating oppression. Because that's what the politicians believe. That the homeless are just lazy drug addicts. That's what they believe. And that creates laws like Proposition B. Sometimes I want to sit at a red light with my window down and not feel guilty because of the dirty, hungry. Oh, you and me both, Omi. Thank you for saying that. Look, I have no problem giving money to those guys on the street. But I've stopped carrying money because when I carry money, I give it all away. So I feel as guilty as the next person, and I shouldn't. That guy has a job. He's trying to earn money, making us feel guilty, which is just what a salesperson does. That's what salespeople do, is close the deal. He's a hard closer. But that's on me. It's not his fault. He's got a gig. He's making me try to feel guilty to give him money. If I feel guilty, that's on me. He has the First Amendment right to stand on that corner, try and make me feel guilty. Sometimes yeah, man. Do you know how angry homeless people make me sometimes? Like, you cannot, as angry as I've ever been, it's been at homeless people. So angry. Oh, and you want to know something else I do? Every time I lose something, I blame it on a homeless person stealing it. I'm telling you. A few weeks ago, I buy a pack of cigarettes for people. I bought a couple packs of cigarettes, and I got in my truck, and I'm like, "Where's those cigarettes?" And I'm like, "That guy stole them." And I told everybody. I'm like, "That fucker, he stole those cigarettes. I'm fucking sick of it." 2 weeks later, I opened up my console. They were in the console. I'm like, yeah, it turns out he didn't. So that's me being prejudiced against a particular homeless person. Look, a lot of homeless people steal shit. But I got to remember, not all homeless people steal shit. And you're never going to catch the ones that do anyways. I've never caught one. I've never caught one on video. You can't catch them. What are you going to do? You don't want your shit stolen? Don't sit it down on the ground. It's your fault at that point. You don't want your wallet stolen? Don't leave it in your car when you're around a bunch of homeless people. You're asking for it. Dumbass. My homeless ex with we broke up. The angriest I've ever been is because that's so funny. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to hate people. Please live with it. It's as natural as walking and talking. Walking, talking, hating. It's what we do. But making laws to hurt the people you hate, that's the problem. You have to help them help you, or help yourself help them. Okay? You don't want to be around black people? Help black people get some really great communities. You don't want poor people? Create a low-income section of your city where you're like, look, we will never gentrify this. We're going to take care of you. We're going to help you start businesses. We're going to help. We're going to make sure that you're really protected from unscrupulous landlords. We're never going to turn off your water. We're never going to turn off your electric. But you can only go in this side of the neighborhood if you make under, say, $800 a month. You're on disability, Social Security, something like that. But we're going to help you. Who wouldn't want to live there? Now, I'm not saying you have to live there. But wouldn't you want a place that took care of you based on your income? Wouldn't you want a place that took care of you based on your race? We got to get back to this. We got to get back to the fact that it's okay to be human. People, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You guys have a great day, okay? I will see you later.